So today we're making chocolate cake.
It's called a Mississippi mud cake.
Yeah, so it's like a muddy puddle. Well, I got in the room to pick. Go around if you like.
I was today's years old when I found out that a Mississippi mud cake and a Mississippi mud pie were actually two different desserts and were not the same thing used interchangeably. Now today's recipe we're going to be following one of our subscriber recipes which was sent in to us by Joshua Bledsoe. If you haven't already figured out, we're making the Mississippi mud cake today, but I would be quite keen to try out the Mississippi mud pie. So you guys will have to let me know, which one do you prefer out of the two? The cake or the pie, or have you not had either? First up, we need to melt 2 sticks of butter. By all accounts, the Mississippi mud cake and mud pie got its names because it was a southern dessert enjoyed in Mississippi, and it was thought to be created there because people believed that the cake resembled the muddiness of the Mississippi River. Into the melted butter, we're adding half a cup of cocoa powder, and we're just going to mix that together. I'm going to take this off the heat and be joined by my little helper.
That's only us. No, Daddy.
No, Daddy.
I have the eggs. I have eggs.
Yep.
And then I give one to you whenever you say please if you need an egg.
Okay. Into that chocolate and butter mix, we need to add 4 eggs. So can I have an egg, please, Alana? Right, 1 more egg then, please, to make 4. There we go, 4 eggs. And we need to beat them. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, to beat them. No. It's all beaten.
It's all beaten, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, should we check? Well, you did a good job.
Chocolate.
I'm just going to add the chocolate into this bowl so it's not too hot for Alana.
So today we're making chocolate cake.
We are making chocolate cake. It's called a Mississippi mud cake.
Yeah, so it's like a muddy puddle.
Is it like a muddy puddle?
Yeah, or a big giant cupcake.
A big giant cupcake, is it? And what do you like about muddy puddles?
We can jump in them like the big.
We need to add the eggs into this mix, but I'm a little bit worried that this might be still a bit warm and the eggs might temper. We need to now add the eggs into this mix, but it didn't say anything about cooling the eggs down, so I'm hoping they don't scramble in this mix. But Alana, would you like to add the eggs into this mix?
Or a fork.
No, we don't want to add the fork in. Oh, there we go. Do you want to give it a stir? And I'll put that to the side. We need to add 2 cups of sugar.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of sugar, Joshua. I'm hoping it's not too sweet. Right, 1 cup. And 2 cups. Great mixing. I'm going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla whilst you mix.
If you want to make a different cake, or if you want to make something different, you can make the same cake if we do. But if you're not, you can make something different.
Yeah. There we go. So if you want to make this cake, you can follow the recipe, which with Joshua's permission, we will link down in the description. But if you want to make a different cake, then you guys can make a different cake. Just let us know what cake you're making so we can make one too. Is that right?
Yeah. If you like this video, try find out my nose.
By your nose?
This is so chocolatey.
Right, in with 1.5 cups of flour.
Over hills we go. We make this hey. Us how we go. Mix with 2 hands. We got suffer.
If you like the video,
Put your thumbs up.
you get free songs with this channel as well. Okay, we just need a pinch of salt in there.
Pinch. Can I eat this soon?
Yeah, you can lick it soon, but not yet. The next part of this recipe does call for some nuts. So should we add some nuts into it?
Not on mine.
Well, forgive us, Joshua, we're going to omit the nuts in today's recipe because Alana doesn't like nuts and she is looking forward to this cake. So Joshua's recipe does say to include nuts, and at this point you would add, I think it was 1.5 cups of chopped nuts. Now I'm assuming it was a 13 by 9 inch pan just by looking at a couple of other recipes online, but let me know if it's incorrect on this one, Joshua. I've lightly greased this one. I've preheated the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's pop this one in.
Actually, this chocolate cake is gonna be amazing.
Oopsie. Did you do that on purpose? Okay, I think somebody did that on purpose. They've accidentally got some on their fingers and dropped the whole spoon in. We're going to pop this into the preheated oven for about 35 to 40 minutes, so join us when it comes out of the oven. Is it a rating at this point?
2 out of 10.
Oh, it's too good?
Yeah, we have 2 out of 10. Let's make our frosting.
Right, we're going to get on with that frosting. So according to Joshua's recipe, we need half a stick of softened butter. We need half a cup of milk. We need 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder. And Joshua, this is where things get really naughty. We need a whole packet, so a pound of icing sugar or powdered sugar. Okay, this is going to be a recipe that we've got to share the rest of the cake with family and friends, because if we leave it here, I think we'll probably eat it, and I'm not eating a whole bag of powdered sugar myself. Whilst that frosting's doing, what I'm going to do is get the cake out of the oven and add the marshmallows. More calories.
Taste test time!
Now you might be wondering where the little chef is. Now it was getting close to her bedtime, so we decided no chocolate cake quite close to bedtime. But then she went to bed and we both thought, we really fancy a bit of that cake. So we're being naughty parents and we're gonna do our taste test now and have some chocolate cake, and Alana is then gonna try it tomorrow and we will see what this Mississippi mud cake tastes like.
Okay, right, you go first.
Okay.
I've kind of just rocked up for the taste test.
I just know this is naughty, really naughty.
It looks naughty, it smells naughty.
Mmm. It's sweet.
I'm not surprised with a box of bloody icing sugar in there.
But it is very like fudge cakey.
Okay.
So it's very fudgy, very rich. The frosting, yeah, that is sweet. The cake itself, though, I know I keep going in for more.
It does look like a brownie, doesn't it? To me.
It is really tasty.
Yeah?
You ever go? Very sweet, though.
It could be like a Rocky Road, kind of.
Well, that's what it reminds me of, but I think Rocky Road's got things like Rice Krispies in it, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. It's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be. I only think it's really sweet, but maybe I've got more of the sponge. It just tastes like, to me, just sponge.
Yeah.
With like lots of chocolate on top and marshmallow. Not a criticism.
It is sweet.
I don't think it's that sweet. It's sweet, don't get me wrong, but not like,
I've got to say, the cake element is not as sweet as I thought it would be. So I think maybe the sweetness of the frosting kind of gets toned down a little bit by the cake.
Yeah.
But 2 cups of sugar in that cake.
2 cups of sugar.
Sorry,
Is it?
in just the cake bit.
In like the sponge?
Mm-hmm. So quite a lot. Now, one thing we didn't do with Joshua's recipe says to put chopped nuts in.
Okay, yeah.
When we were making it, Alana decided she didn't want nuts. So we omitted the nuts, but I can see how the nuts in this would take it to a kind of rocky road.
Yeah.
Kind of. Would have a bit of crunch in it and have a bit of a different texture. I am liking this, I'm enjoying it.
One thing that's really nice, me being greedy guts, I probably would like less sponge and more frosting. It's almost like it can have another layer of frosting in there.
You're a frosting kind of guy, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I like my frosting.
Whereas I think I'm more of a cake than a frosting. Ratings then.
Sugar's kicked in. Ratings, I'm going to have to go. Bearing in mind I'm not a massive brownie fan. I know it's not a brownie, but it reminds me of a brownie.
Okay.
Okay, I know this isn't a brownie. It reminds me a bit like a brownie. I know it's not a brownie, so don't shoot me down in the comments. Maybe like the spongy part reminds me like a bit like a brownie, which I'm not a massive fan of, to be honest.
Can I ask you a question then?
Go on.
Do you like chocolate cakes in general, or are you throwing brownies and chocolate cakes in like all together?
I'm not a massive chocolate cake fan.
Right, okay, so that's what I'm thinking you're going, okay.
Yeah, I just sometimes think there's too much sponge and not enough nice stuff.
Not enough frosting, okay, so
Not
sorry.
enough frosting.
I interrupted your rating.
So, I'm going to go for a good solid 8 out of 10 for that.
8 out of 10, that's a good score. Now for me, I know I've said it a few times and I don't mean any disrespect, Joshua.
Sorry, is there salt in there?
There is a touch of salt in there.
I just got a bit of salt, like a bit of cracked salt in them.
Okay. Well, I did use kosher salt rather than using table salt, so I'm not sure if I was meant to.
So yeah, I've just had a bit of salt.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay, so you like the sweet and salty.
That's really good.
So is your rating still an 8 based on the salt?
8 without the salt, but with the salt, I'll probably go 8.5.
Oh, okay. I might sprinkle some salt on mine. Now, I was going to say, no disrespect to Joshua, recipe is good. The only thing is a little bit sweet for my liking on the whole frosting. It might just be because I know what's gone into it, and it might be like me trying to be this healthy. Yeah, I'm never healthy on this channel, but trying to be healthy and think, oh, I shouldn't be putting a whole box of icing sugar or powdered sugar into this recipe. So I am going to give it a 7.
Okay.
Okay, but it is still really, really good. If that was like another cake, I think I'd devour it without guilt. Whereas this one, I'm knowing that there's a lot of sugar in it and I'm going to be like, I don't know if I can eat as much as I would normally eat.
So you basically picked a cake up, but read all the ingredients next to it, and now you're feeling guilty.
Yes.
Just very, very quickly, before we jump to tomorrow and see little Miss Alana, isn't it funny how our taste buds are slightly different? Because you said you think it's too sweet. I was expecting a massive rush of like sugar and, you know, that sweetness. I didn't feel like I got that. Don't get me wrong, it's still sweet, still nice. But I think you hit the nail on the head. I think the sponge kind of like absorbed it a little bit or covered it up.
Yep.
So it was really good. Did you get any salt in yours?
Not yet, no, but I've still got some to eat. I've noticed you've finished, but yeah, I'm still going.
Thank you. So, yeah, here I go. Right, it's so soft.
It's soft. Nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna take all of it. But can you see just back my eyes? Here?
Oh yeah. So, do you like that cake?
Yeah.
What should you give it then?
I give it 248.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And of course, we would love you to join our family, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and hit that all bell because we've got some cracking videos coming up, and all that leaves this little British family to say is...
Take care.
God bless.
See you after the